there, little TisaTells. How y'all doing today? Well, if you are Kim Kardashian, you are sitting there wishing and hoping and praying for a Christmas miracle. In the fact that you hope you can start wearing your ugly disco pant boots with the matching hoodie and doing your best to look like a fool all around town. What am I talking about? As you guys know, Balenciaga has gotten dragged. That brand has been associated with child P, and the people are not forgetting why, because they had that sick campaign that didn't just have one reference to that disgusting derogatory stuff. It had multiple references. It literally was a glorification. And the sickest part was it was a Christmas holiday for holiday gifts. When that happened, the whole world said the same thing. Ugh. Kim Kardashian did everything she could to act like it wasn't happening, not speak on it. She was one of the, she is Miss Balenciaga Mama. Remember how proud she used to be? She was Miss Balenciaga Mama. So what happened, right? The whole world was disgusted. Kim had to move away from her cash cow, also the thing that was giving her fame and clout. You know she didn't want to do that. And she issued some lame, weirdly, legally worded thing about Balenciaga. Now that turned enough people off that they kind of washed their hands of her. But you guys, Kim isn't done, because she decided to use this Christmas to once again, in my opinion, use poor people as props, and also give an interview to Angie Martinez where, to me, and this is my opinion, it sounded like she was defending Balenciaga, trying to gear us up for the fact that she's going to start wearing their ugly clothes again. In the same time, trying to rehab the image to Kanye West, but I kind of figured out what was going on. She's doing it because her fame was so closely tied to Kanye, and Kanye was so closely tied to her and Balenciaga that they have to come up together or fall as one. You guys, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. What really is the truth? Is Kim a real billionaire? Now, I know I'm one of the people that believe like numbers are inflated. But how much money does Kim actually have? Because she's always making moves like the renters do. Kim has enough money to completely disassociate herself with that brand. She does. If she has the money she says she does. But she's always acting like she either needs the money or does she just need the clout? But in any case, what is this new habit Kim has of talking to everybody like we're stupid and expected people to believe it? I'll say one thing. Mama is tap dancing. She's taking lessons from Corey Gamble. Shucking and jiving, doing the thing. She's doing anything she can to rehab Balenciaga's image, even going on a rant about cancel culture. The funny thing is, and I'm beginning to see, one, especially being on social media, don't anybody ever let you tell that cancel culture doesn't work. If cancel culture didn't work, people wouldn't be screaming about, I think cancel culture is wrong, because it would be a non-issue. Kim doesn't speak about things that she doesn't think are threats to her. Second of all, right? The fact that Kim and everybody else, when they talk about cancel culture, you just don't want cancel culture, right? You don't want cancel culture for anything that affects you personally, right? You don't want it for anything that affects you personally. That's for other things, person, places, or thing. She was interviewed by Angie Martinez. Angie Martinez usually does really good podcasts. You can tell in this podcast, Kim didn't trust her enough to ask questions. And every time Angie even asks anything remotely interesting, Kim wouldn't even answer and she would spin to her PR thing. But go ahead and check out the whole podcast. But let's talk about this new thing. She literally broke down in tears. She broke down in tears about having to shield her kids from Kanye West. And she also talked about her Balenciaga experience and how hard it was for her. I believe she said that I couldn't have been more clear. We're going to have to break this down because it actually has me mad and hot. It has me mad and hot, but you know what we're going to talk about first of all? The public just found out who Kanye West was. The public just found out that he idolized it. The public just found out that he didn't like this and that. The public just found out who he was. But you know who knew for years who he was? Do you know who hid who he was? Do you know who put spin on who he was? The Kardashians. Do you know who used who he was? Do you know who literally doubled down and protected who he was? Do you know who knew who he was and had 1 child, 2 child, 3 child, 4? Do you know who did all that? Kim Kardashian. The fact that this woman is sitting up in our face crying about how hard it is to shield the kids what Kanye was, when you've been known who this man was and you helped him out half the time, and the other time you shielded and protected him. Why? And this is my opinion, because I think they just don't care. And I think Kim, because of this Balenciaga fallout, and because people were so disgusted with her and the way she handled it and what she stood for, and how it seems that you literally are selling your soul for dollars and you're supposed to be a billionaire. And the way people are just so turned off about this little billionaire sex kitten with her wearing a jockstrap or her butt out in the front, and nobody's really down with that. The fact that now she's trying to go back into the image of, no, I'm the old Kim with dark hair, and now I'm a mother. You know what? I'm doing so much for my kids. Kim, girl, shut up. What are you talking about? Let's get into this article, because we got it. She broke down in tears by opening up about her struggles co-parenting with Kanye West in their split, and said she's gone to great lengths to keep the drama away from her kids. How did you go through great lengths to keep the drama away from your kids when you literally had Pete, your man, making a whole stand-up comedy special, dragging the kids, dragging their daddy, dragging everything, and you're trying to shield the kids? You literally had this man playing daddy with your kids, driving him crazy. And I don't care what y'all say, what her and Pete had couldn't have been love. They only knew each other for 9 months. They literally broke up 2 months after she literally had breast things, with Pete losing Saint allegedly in Walmart, and North I can't. This is just ridiculous, but let's get back into this, right? She says hiding the noise from her kids while trying her best to co-parent with Kanye is a serious struggle, but jumps through hoops to make sure the negativity isn't brought to their kids. Now, for this, I will have a little bit of understanding, because what Kanye is currently doing with North, and I know the kids at school are it has to be affecting her. But the thing is, Kim didn't really care about all this, and it wasn't an issue until it started affecting her, until she couldn't wear Balenciaga, until she couldn't roll the runway. Kim has an insatiable need, and she's supposed to be starting a hedge fund, an insatiable need to not just be rich, but she wants to be not just famous, but she also wants to be the most beautiful person in the room. Fine, but stop talking to us like we're stupid, because at this point, everybody's starting to see who you really are. And you're mad about that. And you think by going and crying behind these chairs and playing the victim, Kim, you have too much money. You are too powerful. You have done too many things. If you have been complicit in too many things to ever truly be the victim. This is wild. She shed some tears while reflecting on her dad, Robert, and hopes to give her kids the same great memories Robert gave her, but admit it's tough during multiple waves of controversy. Kim, get your kids off social media. Get North off of TikTok. You are a billionaire. Build them their own little world. Girl, stop playing. Again, I don't mean to have any sympathy, but anyone that does not see this as a shameless play to rehab her image so she can start wearing Balenciaga again, because so much of her money and her fame and her cred is tied up with being a model and a spokesperson and the face of Balenciaga. Girl, come on. Now, Angie Martinez pointed out Kim's not co-parenting with a nobody. Kim shed some more tears, hoping North Chicago State and Psalm will later thank her in life for not bashing their father. Kim literally had people saying that Kanye was the next OJ. Kim literally had Pete dragging them. Kim had her friends dragging. Kim had Trevor Noah accusing Kanye on TV in a very loving tone. That actually got me mad about Trevor Noah, right? You did it in a very loving tone. And again, Trevor Noah can do what he wants. Let's talk about Kim. He did it in a loving tone, which is the most dangerous. You basically accused Kanye that he was going to hurt Kim and do or do something, like, if you don't know Trevor's mom's thing, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to get censored, but you literally, in a very kind, caring, loving tone, publicly accused Kanye of about to do bodily harm to Kim, and saying you were afraid for your life, and saying everybody needed to check Kanye. D.L. Hughley did the same thing. Kim did nothing to check it. What world does Kim live in? And now she's talking about she's doing her best not to bash their father. You don't need to bash You had your minions out there bashing, and you literally were sleeping with the enemy who was bashing their father. And now you want us to believe that you care so much about what's going on. This has nothing to do with her children. Again, and I can't say it enough, it has to do with her wanting to rehab the F out of her image. Woo! She also opens up about her experience during the Balenciaga backlash, saying her response to the controversy didn't come quick enough to the public, even though she claimed she was in the dark about the ordeal at first. When that Balenciaga campaign came out, everybody and their mother tagged Kim. The whole world went crazy. The whole world. Everybody tagged Kim. Everybody said it was sick and vile. There were think pieces being written. It was all over TV. Kim first tried to completely ignore it. When she couldn't ignore it, 6 days later, a mother of children, a champion of justice, a lawyer. Well, we know she's not a lawyer. We know she's not in law school, but she tried to pretend to be. Literally then came out and gave the most dumb, middle of the road statement. And when that wasn't good enough, she came out later and said she's reevaluating her relationship. The only thing she's reevaluating is when it's safe to, when it's safe to read this. Again, this is the part of the Kardashians. I know it's fun to laugh at them. I know they are ridiculous people. I get that. And that's part of their charm, as part of whatever. But the fact that Kim is literally trying to use every sympathy ploy to act like the past didn't happen. And let's not forget, the past was like a few days ago, a few weeks ago. And she's now doing this all because you want to walk into the room like you are a 16-year-old hype beast wearing Balenciaga, and you want to be proud of it. It's disgusting. Let's see what she said. She said, this is her apology. I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaigns and apology. And speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again. Let's see what Balenciaga did. They said they were going to sue the photographer. The photographer clapped back and said, I didn't pick anything out. You did. All I did was light and shoot. Then they tried to sue the set company for $25 million. The set company was like, what are you talking about? You guys were hand in hand with us, and you guys were responsible for this. They quietly dropped the lawsuit against the set company because they didn't have a leg to stand on. So when Kim says, I appreciate the removal, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue. How? They never spoke out about it, besides a lame apology. They never addressed people's concerns. Their name is still trash, and I literally do side-eye anybody that is still sitting there posting and flossing with Balenciaga. If you got enough money, use something else in your closet. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, and they'll take the necessary measures for this to never happen again. They never took accountability for why it happened. They said they were duped. Come to find out, they were down with it. And if you Google Dimma and his sick self, you'll know that maybe it wasn't an accident. Not only that, Kim, you are a legal apprentice. The U.S. versus Citizen United, the CPPA, the ruling that said that you could do this and that, the lawyer's office, the things, it's disgusting. And Kim, once again, she said, as for my future at Balenciaga, I'm currently reevaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off their willingness to accept accountability. They haven't, for something that should never have happened to begin with, and actions I'm expecting to see them take to protect children. What actions? They didn't even donate to a child charity. They didn't even donate for people with abuse. The fact that they did less than nothing, and they did this sicko pervert campaign, and Kim is crying tears of fragility because she can't wear it. I will say this, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again. It feels like everything is for sale with Kim. And that's why when Kim can't figure out why people absolutely detest, I don't know if she's turned into this person or who this is, who she's trying to be. You absolutely, it's just not good. She said she gets emotional again, pointing out how frustrating it is to always try and do what's right, but always face the chopping block. When did Kim do what's right in this situation? Again, there are things that we can applaud Kim about, but in this situation, she was dead wrong. And the fact that she is doubling down because she wants that power so much is insane to me. They said Kim also points to cancel culture in today's world, saying we absolutely need to call out things and wrong, but also note that people make mistakes. Let's also not forget this is the same woman that told us that Jeffree Star, a known racist, that Jeffree Star, or at least he's been accused of being it, did a beat on her face because she was busy trying to steal Jeffree Star's whole look, and she was successful. She literally told Black women that we need to let it go and that he's apologized and we need to let the race thing go because he once again got caught saying racial slurs to a Black woman. This is Kim. This is Kim, who named her whole line after a cultural icon in Japan, the kimono, and then tried to fight them. And only when she saw that the whole country of Japan went against her was she like, oh, sorry, I never. And she stayed to the Skims. Kim is just whatever. She said that, she said with the Balenciaga thing, everything was like, everybody was like, why aren't you speaking out? And I was like, wait, I'm not in this campaign. The fact that Kim somehow thinks, there's the thing that Kim needs to, with great power comes great responsibility. You cannot be the face of a brand. You cannot walk in their runway. You cannot be in their spring, summer, fall campaign and stand behind a brand and then say, wait, I'm not in that campaign. Why are you mad at me? Kim, like, you know this is a faulty argument and you know you're talking to people like they're stupid. And the thing is, when is there actually going to be public backlash for Kim talking to people like they're stupid? Again, it's not even at this point the low down thing she does. It's the way she explains it. She said, let me take a minute to research this. She took 6 days. Kim has 1 million assistants. She is a legal apprentice trying to get enough experience so she can be a lawyer. Her whole family is around lawyers. You have private lawyers. What do you mean, let me take a minute? You took 6 days? 6 days? Anyway, she said, and as soon as I saw what everyone was seeing on the internet, so you're trying to say that even though the whole world was upset, you magically didn't see any of the Balenciaga pictures for 6 days. And the reality of the situation, I completely spoke out and gave my thoughts on Child P. I completely denounced it. But the problem was you didn't denounce Balenciaga. You see how that works? Anyway, she said, oh, so when that came out, she said 2 weeks later, the selfish author took to social media to react to the controversial images. She took 2 weeks. I'm sorry, I thought it was 6 days. It was 2 weeks. She said, I've been quiet for a few days and because I've been shocked and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I want an opportunity to speak with their team to, anyway, you hear the BS that she said. At this point, listen, thoughts and prayers to Kim. If she gets away with this, all right, I guess nobody cared. But to sit here and try to like rewrite history. And again, if anybody wants to follow Kim or still give her, yes, big up because the Instagram image is everything to you, then go ahead and do that. That's your own business. But please don't sit in our face and talk to us like I'm stupid. Listen, don't talk to us like we're stupid. You want to follow Kim no matter what. Those images, that beauty is modern art. Do what you do, right? It's your life. Get it how you live it. But I think we can all acknowledge that there's something really vile going on, something really gross going on, something very insulting going on. And it always seems to more and more and more start with Kim, end with Kim. Start with the Kardashians, end with the Kardashians. You guys, Kris Jenner better get on this and do her job because Rome is burning. And these little fake interviews and this and that ain't doing nothing for no one. Anyway, my little TisaTells, let me know what you think in the comments and I will talk to you later.